So question 48 from the homework asks us for the, the solubility of silver sulfate in grams per liter, right? So normally we're used to finding solubility in moles per liter. That would be the molar solubility, for molarity, but we have to find it in grams per liter in this case. And they tell us that the KSP is 1.2 times 10 to the minus 5. We also need to know the molar mass of silver sulfate, and that's 311.79 grams per mole. And now we're in business here, because we know silver sulfate is going to ionize to give us 2 silver and 1 sulfate. So initial change equilibrium, right? Initial we have 0, change 2x and x. So at equilibrium, we're going to have x and 2x. Plug that into our KSP, and KSP equals the concentration of silver squared times the concentration of sulfate. So we're down here with 1.2 times 10 to the minus 5. That's my KSP. That equals 2x squared times x. So I'm going to get 4x cubed equals 1.2 times 10 to the minus 5. Divide both sides by 4. And I get 1.2 times 10 to the minus 5 divided by 3 times 10 to the minus 6, right, equals x cubed. Cubic root for both of those, x equals 1.44 times 10 to the minus 2 molar. So we found x. X is the concentration of sulfate. Because it's 1-to-1 silver sulfate to sulfate, x is our molar solubility of silver sulfate, right? That's our concentration of sulfate in solution. And that's also our concentration of silver sulfate in solution. So I've got 1.44 times 10 to the minus 2 moles per liter, because that's what molarity is. And I need to use my molar mass, right, so that I can find grams per liter. Well, my molar mass tells me, right, for every 1 mole, I need to have 311.79 grams of the silver sulfate. So moles cancel out. We multiply by 311.79. And I get about 4.5 grams per liter of silver sulfate for that. This is kind of like the calomel one that we did in class, the mercury one where we looked at this, the solubility in grams per liter, and then compared it against how much mercury we shouldn't have in our body. But yeah, that's good practice to realize, like, yeah, the molarity, we can calculate molarity, but at the end of the day, the molarity means something. It can tell us, how many grams of this material we're putting into solution, or would expect to go into solution.